All right, for our watercolor unit, what we did, we started off by getting a nice colorful image of a landscape or an object, an animal, whatever we wanted. And our target here is to be able to create a watercolor painting from this image using a variety of the techniques that we're going to learn. You all are going to be learning from video from now on, so a lot of us are used to it. I do post these to YouTube, and but we want to get ready on how to get from here to here. And let's explain. The first thing you had to do was get an image with a rule of thirds grid on it. The next thing we did was draw the rule of thirds grid onto our watercolor paper and tape this down. So this was 15 inches long. This is 5 and 10 inches. This line is at 5, this is at 10. This is 11 inches. So our first line, I believe, was at 3 and 11/16, and this one is at 7 and 5/16. Then we practiced, I want you to practice enlarging in proportion this contour line drawing, which is just the basic outline of this image is right here. And what we did is take this and enlarge it on this one. These two are in proportion to each other. So we practiced our contour line drawing because what we want to do is transfer that practice onto our actual drawing, to our painting. And I am going to take, and I'm going to start drawing my pencil, and I'm going to start drawing in the background. It goes background, middle ground, foreground. And I could draw upside down, but I am not going to. I'm going to draw right side up, so you're all going to have to just kind of bear with me here. I'll draw sideways. Hopefully y'all can still see that. So first thing is all the background is just some areas of color. I'm just going to lightly mark those off. And then here's a light area. And my fox, I know his ear comes around here. I know that his back comes up into this 1/3. His tail crosses right here. And I am plotting it out. It comes down to here. I draw very, very lightly because the watercolors are indeed, I am going to draw this rock right here so I know where his paw stops. It comes up and it comes back down. My eyes are constantly looking at this page right here for proportion, and this rock comes all the way over down here. And then there is a little slice of the rock coming this way. This is nice and dark in here, and this came around. Now I can finish drawing my fox because I can see that his leg, it does come over this, and it came down. The front of this leg right here is there. And, oh, would you go let her in, please? Here's his leg. He looks like he's got a little chicken leg here. I can erase that. I can fix that later in the paint. And this comes down here. This leg, I realize you're probably leaving, right?
She has to leave.
Yeah, for gymnastics. So that's fine. I realized it. Okay. Sorry, we have another student coming in to grab some stuff before the weekend. Here is his leg. His leg crosses over here, kind of on this angle. His leg proportion's a little off. There we go. I need to make these guys a little thicker over here. So I'm going to erase that. Somewhere in here, we'll fix that later. But the point is to get just the, oh, his eye comes underneath this, and it comes underneath this, and his head shape comes down and around. Here is middle. This is like half of this right here, so it comes almost to the halfway point. And here is another ear. Here's this ear, and this comes down at an angle here, and his nose, his eyes come down, his nose is right about here, and it is a little round, and he does actually have a cute little smile on his face. So there's that outline. Now I'm also going to, from this rock, I know that this rock touches his tail right here and comes up off the page. This is a contour line drawing. It's a linear lay-in, so I know where I'm putting some colors. What I don't want to do is draw every single individual little blade of grass right there. I don't want to do that. So I'm just going to kind of place things, and I'm going to say there's a highlight there, over here. My grass starts about here. The grass starts about here, and I know that the grass is over in here. And the grass comes up to this part right here. Alrighty-roo. I'm going to work on his legs just a little bit more. I wasn't getting the angles right there. And it came over, and it's here. All right, there we go. And then we'll work on the rest a little later. Yeah, he does look like he's got a little chicken leg back here. Skinny little guy. And that comes around and this comes down. So again, you are going to be drawing in proportion over here. There's this eye comes up and out, this eye comes down and around. I will be painting this as my demonstration. So this is our linear lay-in. Throughout the week, live from my kitchen, I will be posting videos on YouTube about how this progresses. So you can watch how it progresses as well. Now that I'm done with my linear lay-in, I can go back and erase all of these rule of third grid lines because my watercolor paint is transparent. There we go. So I don't need those anymore. Now that I have all of my objects plotted out, I don't need those lines anymore, so why keep them, especially since the paint is transparent. All right, the next thing we're gonna learn from home this week is you're gonna need this techniques sheet. The only thing that you'll actually need besides your watercolor paint palettes and your brushes and stuff is going to be a little plastic like the edge of a credit card or something, an old credit card. You're gonna need that for edges and for scraping. And then you will need some crayons and some plastic saran wrap. Those are the things that you're gonna need to complete this sheet. You'll watch me do this online. These are all different techniques that we can use to create the layers in these paintings. Next, if I were to look at this and go for layer, object, techniques, once we do the technique sheet, we're gonna look at this as a whole. We're gonna label what's object is in the background. The object in the background here is what? The river. So it's the river and it's water and it's trees, it's blurry trees, and I'm gonna decide what technique out of all of these would be good for this. Then we're gonna go to the middle ground, and in our middle ground, we have our fox. I'm gonna look at these techniques and see which techniques would be good for the fox. Then I'm gonna look at the foreground objects, and the objects in my foreground are things like the rock and these tall grasses here. I look over here and think which of these techniques are gonna be best to portray this. How can I make it look like that? So all of this is gonna go home with you. You're gonna take this to practice on. You need this from your art binder, the watercolor technique sheet. You're gonna need the objects and layers. You'll definitely need your image, and you will need this board. And please stay tuned, come back for more lessons, and that's how we are going to do our e-learning while we are all staying home safe, okay? And please email me if you have any questions ever. We'll get right back to you.